draft order. It's one thing that we care about most right now with our season going to hell. Draft order is one of the most important things to look at. Let's break this down as well as we can. So, if we lose every game moving forward, right? So we lose Steelers game, which I'll tell you right now, we're not going to lose out. We're not. It just isn't happening. Realistically speaking, we definitely might lose some of the games moving forward. But for the most part, we're going to at least win, I would say, more than half of the games moving forward, right? We could technically win out. And I think there is a chance that we do win out just because if we can win our game against Steelers after our bye week, which can be very challenging, but if we could do it, I still think now with how the Ravens are, that the Steelers will have the division locked up by week 18. And our week 18 game versus Steelers, I think we can win because they'll put their backups in. And outside of that, the Broncos are the toughest team we play. We'll beat the Cowboys, we'll beat the Titans. Cowboys, again, I'm sorry, not Cowboys. Broncos are still a tough team. I think we can beat the Brownies. But that Broncos game is going to be the real doozer. But I think we could beat the Broncos. So if we lose out, okay, we lose out the rest of the season. 4-13, we're not looking good. The best pick we're going to get is the 5th overall pick. And that's if we lose out every single game. Now, obviously, this is also simulating based on these other teams win. And if these other teams lose in certain scenarios and win other scenarios, correct, we could, also get a better pick. So let's say, for example, Cleveland wins, right? Well, now we're down to the number 4 overall pick. Let's say the Giants, okay. Giants win. Now we're down to number 3 overall pick. Okay, what if the Patriots win? Now we're down to number 2 overall pick. What if the Raiders win? Right there. We could get the number 1 overall pick. So, best case scenario, we could get the best overall pick. That would be interesting. The number 1 overall pick. Now, keep in mind, this upcoming draft is not a quarterback draft class. It's not a quarterback year at all. So, realistically speaking, this would probably be, we would draft Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter from Colorado, the future Heisman winner, who plays cornerback. He is mainly a corner, but he also plays wide receiver, and he can play both positions. That's probably the guy we end up getting if we get the 1st overall pick. Now, again, that scenario's perfect for us, right? Realistically speaking, I'm going to now put in the realistic scenario, okay? We could get the 1st overall pick. We lose out and other teams win in the correct order. But realistically speaking, I do believe, let's just say we win out, right? And again, I don't know 100% if we'll win out, but I think we'll go very close to winning out, right? That's 10-7. Now, in this scenario, that's a playoff team. Okay, in this scenario, that's a playoff team. Realistically speaking, let's say it wasn't. Okay, just for craps and giggles here, let's say week 18, and I know they probably have the Chiefs beating the Broncos. Let's say the Broncos make the playoffs, right? Okay, and let's put in a scenario where, where are the Colts? Okay, Colts, bro. 8 and 9. So they play the Broncos. Okay, we can't do that. I'm trying to look at a scenario where the Colts actually knock us out of the playoffs by winning enough. So let's say the Colts win that game. Now they're 9 and 8. Colts win this week versus the Lions, which is crazy. And then the Colts win the division? Crap. Okay. We're going to figure this out. We need the Texans now to beat the Jaguars. And this now puts us in this scenario. So now I got to look at, where's the Denver Broncos? Can we figure out a way to get the Broncos in the playoffs here? Also, the Broncos have a week 14 bye, which is kind of crazy. Okay, they have that week 1. Let's go with, Because right now the Broncos are 10-7. So we just need them to win one more game in theory to boost out the game. Here we go, Chargers. Now we're knocked out of the playoffs. So we went out, but we're knocked out of the playoffs, okay? Which is a very could happen scenario. 21. So if we win out, but we don't make the playoffs, we're 21. Now, if we make the playoffs, we're 22 plus. Chances are we're not going to make the playoffs, right? So, in this scenario right here, let's say our last week of the season, which I still think Steelers will have it locked up by that time, but maybe they don't, right? Maybe the Steelers actually do suck in the end and they can't beat the gauntlet. Let's say we lose to the Steelers, right? We drop to pick 15, okay? Let's say we lose to the Steelers twice, right? This would also put them in the playoffs in theory here. But let's say week 13, coming off a bye, we also lose to the Steelers right there. Pick 12. All right. Games moving forward that I think we could potentially lose would be both Steelers matchups and the Broncos matchup. That would be 7-10 record, and that would hit us at number 11. Ooh. Okay. I just don't see a scenario where we lose to the Cowboys, Titans, or Browns. Yeah, I just don't really see that scenario happening. I'm not saying it can't happen, don't get me wrong. Obviously, anything is possible with this team. We have learned that lesson the hard way. If we lost to the Brownies, we would drop to number 9. So, realistically speaking, and again, this is just my opinion here on this, I think the worst record I could see us having moving forward would probably be 7-10. The best record obviously being 10-7. But I think a realistic meet in the middle is a 9-8 record again. So this is back-to-back years with a 9-8 record. And I think that's probably what we're going to do here is we're going to hit it with a 9-8 record. Which sucks, really. But that puts us at pick 15. Again, I've said this many times. This upcoming draft is not a strong draft when overall wise. It's not a good quarterback draft. There is a couple guys that, you might be interested in as a team, but it's not a good quarterback draft. The big thing about this upcoming draft is there's a couple players, Genty and Travis Hunter. And both of those guys will go top 5. So in this upcoming draft, you don't have a top 5 pick. You're not going to get those two guys. You're probably one an edge rusher. And there are some good offensive linemen as well. But you really do probably want an edge rusher if you're not going to get those two guys. And this is a draft where anyone who has top 5, if you don't get those two guys, it's a laughing stock. Like Genty or Travis Hunter, if they don't go top 5, it's a laughing stock. Those guys are guaranteed to go top 5. So guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. See you guys next one.